A lot is changing this year in terms of what consumers are looking for from the brands that they follow, so it's a great time to talk about the most interesting things to expect in 2024. Hi everyone, welcome to a new video in a new year. Statista puts out many newsletters and reports on these upcoming trends every year, which I personally love following. So in this video, I'm going to share the 4 biggest trends that you should take advantage of immediately, whether you are planning to launch a brand this year or you're planning on growing an existing business. Let's go. Number 1, there's a major cost of living crisis that is hitting everyone hard, and inflation and rising costs are driving people to value quality over quantity. So people are starting to move away from cheap disposable products, and they want something that can last them a little bit longer, even if it is slightly more premium. So this year, as a brand owner, you should develop products that are higher quality. Focus on more timeless product design that's not too trendy, because as a customer, if I'm strapped for cash, I'm more likely to buy an item that won't fall apart in a week, I won't get bored of soon, and that won't go out of trend by the next season. We also see this in fashion. Even though there are now so many micro trends thanks to TikTok and the other socials, it has still never been trendier to just wear timeless classic pieces. What's really interesting though is that consumers are preferring these kinds of premium items in shoes and clothing, but not in food, drink, and cosmetics. Probably again because if you buy a nice pair of shoes or clothes, if it's good quality, you can just keep wearing it for many years, but food, drink, and cosmetics are things that you need to repurchase. So again, with the higher cost of living, it's a lot harder to repurchase premium items at higher price points. By the way, all of this comes with a major disclaimer. I see brands that increase their price points to appear more premium, but they don't offer better quality products. And honestly, I think this is the wrong strategy because customers are going to hold you accountable. In fact, 3 in 4 customers say that they don't like to see a brand profit from a crisis. If they feel that a brand is trying to profit from this inflation and rising costs, and the price increases are not actually worth the quality of their products, then they're not going to hesitate to switch over to a different brand. So the takeaway is implement a sensitivity in your pricing in the coming year so that there is no perceived profiteering from a crisis. Also, embrace recycling. This is a great year to offer a buyback program. So you can offer secondhand products of your brand at more accessible prices so you can become more accessible to more people. And also, this is always a better strategy than just being a brand that sells cheap, bad quality products. The second trend is that sustainability and ethical spending is on the rise. Here are the top 5 grocery stores that brand themselves as sustainable, and it can't be a coincidence that we're seeing so many day in the life vlogs and TikToks on these exact brands. Millennials and Gen Z especially love associating themselves with brands that brand themselves as sustainable. And the data shows that an overwhelming number of consumers all over the world now see themselves as ethical spenders. So scream about your eco-consciousness and sustainability efforts in your branding this year. It's not just a buzzword or a box to tick anymore, and it's going to be appreciated by real people. A side note, I love how Whole Foods brands themselves. I love their mission. Our purpose is to nourish people and the planet. I think it's really nicely done, and it definitely contributes to their overall popularity. The fact that there is a rise in living costs and people are still willing to spend more on ethical and sustainable brands really shows the importance of this trend. The graph here shows the extent of how much this applies by industry if you're interested. Also note, consumers may be willing to pay a little bit more for sustainable or ethical brands, but they do not think that sustainability is equivalent to luxury or premiumness. Consumers are now going to expect sustainability out of all brands at all price points. So this year, introduce sustainable products in your business at all price points, because this is increasingly going to be expected out of all businesses, especially by Gen Z. The third trend that we're seeing globally, unfortunately, is a rise in stress and anxiety, and consequently also a rise in seeking relief from this in the form of self-care, health influencers, life coaching, and alternative therapy. Over a quarter of the world's population reported struggling with mental health in the past 12 months. Millennials and Gen Z are struggling the most, but unlike previous generations, they are much more likely to seek solutions. Part of this solution is a lot of consumption of influencers for advice, guidance, and lifestyle tips. Lifestyle, health and fitness, advice, self-help, all of this is in. And we see on this chart that these are among the top 10 most popular categories of content that millennials and Gen Z are watching. Like last year, we're also seeing that self-care is becoming much more about minimalism, skincare, and wellness rather than about glamorous makeovers. Beauty routines are becoming more of a way to unwind from all of this stress, and people now see it as a major contributor towards their overall well-being and happiness. Skin cycling is also becoming more popular. It's a trend that started in China and is now trickling over to the West. So what all this means for your brand is that you should create products and services in the stress reduction and self-care space, partner with influencers who can show themselves using your product to make their daily life better, and finally, show empathy in your marketing and branding for stress relief. Highlight how your product can make someone's life better if they use it and reduce the overall stress in it. Finally, this last trend is going to affect your marketing this year. It is that people are less concerned about data privacy than before and are more willing to share their personal data. Of course, this doesn't mean that brands can share their data without their consent or spam them, but they're okay with sharing it if the brands can give them more personalized experiences and ads in return. So the days of creating one ad are over, and if you're not going to personalize your communication and ads to your customers, then you are going to start falling behind this year. We can see in the data that the irritation towards online ads has dropped significantly since 2019. Probably because there used to be a lot of annoying pop-ups and non-skippable videos on most websites and blogs before. But we've recently seen a lot of websites ask customers what kind of ads they want to see, which has probably resulted in this positive perception of ads. Because as a customer, if I genuinely like a brand, then I don't mind seeing an ad that tells me when their sale is on or when they're launching a new product that I would be interested in. We also see this trend of more and more people saying that they don't mind companies using their data for advertising, and less people are using ad blockers than before. Also, this is important because customers are becoming more savvy, and now more and more customers know that a lot of companies use bots or they use paid advertising to buy good reviews of their products. So the trust in customer reviews is going down. So what does this mean for your brand this year? In 2019, 60% of customers in US had said that they find reviews helpful, but this declined to 40% in 2023, and we're seeing this globally. First, in the coming year, embrace hyper-personalization. For example, if you do email marketing, try out tools that let you personalize the copy and the content and measure the results. Second, be transparent about your data collection and protection practices. This is going to build trust with your customers, and they are going to see you positively for it. Finally, get in on user-generated content. As we saw, trust in written customer reviews is declining, so instead, reward your community with special promotions or special products in exchange for leaving authentic video reviews of your products. So this can just be plain reviews or product testimonials. So to summarize, I'm going to put some notes on the screen somewhere so you can take a screenshot if any of these ideas sounded good to you. I'll be making a lot of content on brand building this year. So if you're going to be building a brand in any capacity, whether as a student or as a brand manager at a company, or even building a brand for your own business, then please consider subscribing and join the community. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!